Hello, I'm back to bottom. My name is Beast, and guess who only started recording at 11 PM again? I'm bad. Anyways, can I just talk about how I've started watching the video that Slimesicle uploaded, where we spent 200 plus hours beating Baldur's Gate 3's hardest difficulty, and I've been constantly laughing my ass off because of it. Like, I think one of my favorite sentences in that entire video is administering some better late than never birth control. Like, that is one way to say murdering a child. And you know, I respect the creativity. I think it's fucking fantastic. But yeah, anyways, we leave the cafe after saying goodbye to Kanon's dad. I feel drained as I walk, all the tension having left me. That was nerve-wracking. Certainly has the aura of a representative of a major company.
そうですか? 普通のお父さんですよ。厳しいところもあるけど、優しいんです。
Yeah, he does seem that way. He seemed very kind when he interacted with you. But he's still an ordinary person, just being in his presence is a little overwhelming.
そうなんですかね。
He doesn't seem to have noticed, probably from having lived close to him for so long. I've investigated some big shots for the organization, and from my involvement with them, I can tell her dad has that aura exclusive to people in authority. My experience is limited to people in Japan, though, so I don't know about foreigners in A-Tail. Perhaps should investigate their conglomerate. Be connected to a financial group makes them more likely to be a target of crime than ordinary people. Knowing Conan's family background, and its reach would be important information to prevent it. I promised to protect it with my life, so I need to.
ジン君、どうしたんですか? まだ緊張してるとか?
She inclines her head and looks at me inquisitively. That's nothing, I was just thinking that I have to protect you with my life now that I promised your dad. Gotta be prepared to commit seppuku for you.
そのことですけど。やっぱり本気にしました?
Well, of course, you're his precious daughter. Like, there's something weirdly funny about him just sitting there, like her asking him, like, wait, you were serious about them? He just goes like, huh? Yeah, why? If her boyfriend couldn't protect his daughter, then he probably wouldn't allow us to date. That's why I have to show him that I'm determined to protect you with my life.
あれはお父さんの冗談です。
What? He was? Where's cracks again from shock, which makes her chuckle.
ジン君が緊張してたから、お父さんが冗談のつもりで言ったんだと思います。腹を切れって、お父さんの最近のお気に入りなんですよ。私が学園に行くことが決まった時、日本のことをいろいろ調べたみたいで、それで気に入ったみたいです。
Oh no, the father's a weeb too. I guess Kanon takes her after her father in regards to her love of ninjas. But no one would have taken it as a joke under the circumstances he said it. It was a
びっ
joke.
くりしました?
That it was a joke, yes. He felt like the kind of person who would tell someone to commit seppuku in all seriousness.
いくらお父さんでも本当に腹を切らせるなんてしないですよ。
Even my dad, like that part of the sentence, implies that he would do something short of it, though.
でも、ジン君が真剣に答えてくれて嬉しいです。
Like, it gives the idea of, like, yes, he's bad, but not even he would do that. She blushes, hangs her head, and moves to walk closer to me. After taking my hand, she looks up at me and continues
あん
bashfully.
なに真剣で感情的なジン君、初めて見たから、私のこと、本当に大切に思ってくれてるんだなって。あの時のジン君、かっこよくて、ドキドキが止まらなかったですよ。感動して、少し泣いちゃいました。
When he's here, teary from the emotions, I feel embarrassed. But I wasn't lying when I made that promise with your dad. That's how I really feel. I'll protect you no matter what happens. I promise.
期待してます
She squeezes my held hand tight and puts on a tender smile. I squeeze her hand back. You reflect on today's events as we return to the dorm. Report? Not a report. After that day, the combat festival dawned upon us without further incident. The students had prepared thoroughly, and despite it being the first day, quite a few spectators have come. Naturally, Conan's father has already arrived and is waiting for her in his VIP seat.
Jin 君、そろそろ開会式が始まりますよ。お父さんも待ってるし、行きましょう。
Sorry, but I won't be able to make it today. I've got something I need to attend to. I know she was looking forward to watching the event with me. Pains me to refuse, but I have something I must do.
そうですか。じゃあ、明日なら。
I anticipate how long today's work will take and whether I'll be able to make time tomorrow or not. I have my concerns, but I should be able to complete today's work thoroughly enough to make it. I'll be available tomorrow.
本当ですか？絶対ですよ。
Promise. She's sulking like a little child, so I rub her on the head to appease her as a promise. Seems to have accepted that and stops pouting.
じゃあ、せめて一緒に帰りましょう。検討祭が終わったら中庭で待ってますね。ジン君の分もお父さんとしっかり見てきます。
She trots off out of the classroom excitedly. After she's gone, I head to the courtyard to do my job. Her dad is here purely on private business, so only the bare minimum bodyguard escorts are with him. It'll be safer near him, but the security outside the arena is still light. If he was here on official business, things might have been different. But I wasn't planning on relying on the security in the first place. This is going about as I expected. I head to the courtyard to investigate at length whether there are any traps or suspicious individuals lurking. Once I confirm that there's nothing out of the ordinary, I boot up my device and call Momoka. Momoka, have you figured out who wrote that post?
革命軍の SNS からたどり、あらゆるルートを調べました。該当する学生が一人います。
Show me their data.
それが、学園のサーバーを調べてみましたが、その学生の ID は存在していませんでした。おそらく SNS 内だけで活動するダミーの ID ではないかと。
That figures. I pretty much expected it would be impossible to find identifying features from the post. Still don't know if it was a joke or a real warning. But it smells fishy given they used a fake ID. The courtyard's fine. Let's check out the school building. In the meantime, you check the school surveillance cameras and show me anything suspicious.
わかりました。
You move from the courtyard to the school building, checking to see if there's anything suspicious. Students aren't forbidden from entering during the festival, but there are still hardly any there. Momoka, how do the cameras look?
異常はありません。不審者どころか学生の影もありませんね。みんな検討祭に夢中のようです。
Okay, but we can't let our guard down. Let's search a little more. I do a lap around the school building before heading to the rooftop. The weather's lovely, but there's still no one there. There isn't any high position within the school grounds. If there was a sniper, they'd do it from here.
屋上の監視カメラも常時チェックしています。ジンさん以外、今日は来た学生はいないようですね。
But they could be using a drone. We need to watch the skies too.
随分厳重ですが、現時点では書き込みとコウモリを結びつける証拠がありません。関係があるとは思えませんが。
Someone using a fake ID may be scheming something. There's no such thing as being too cautious.
なるほど。建前ではそうなんですね。
I signed myself and sighed loudly. She seems to have seen right through my reason for being cautious. Alright, bad investigation is excuse. I'm doing this for Colin's sake. Her dad even came for this. I don't want their time together being interrupted. know I'm a failure as a ninja for prioritizing my own emotions ahead of my mission.
そうですね。ですが、静香様はお喜びになると思います。
Is that supposed to make me feel better?
フォローが欲しければ、もっと気の利いたことを言いますが。
Well, whatever, let's continue our patrol. Oh, and keep monitoring the surveillance cameras. I searched every possible location I can think of. As a result, the first day of the combat festival ended without incident.
ジンくん、お待たせしました。
Combat festival matches are over, and she gives a big wave as she comes over.
用事は終わったんですか？
Nah, it wasn't that big a deal. What about you? You don't want to spend more time with your
お
dad?
父さんとはこの後一緒に食事をします。だから大丈夫ですよ。でも、ジンくんとは今日あまりいられなかったし、せめてちょっとの時間でもって。
Okay, thanks. We both smiled bashfully from the slightly sweet mood. I grab her hand and we begin walking leisurely. And extend our time together as much as possible.
今日のデュエルすごかったんですよ。もともと強かったですけど、神楽さんがもっと強くなってて圧勝というか秒殺ですね。ズバーって一瞬で勝負を決めちゃったんですよ。お父さんも感心しちゃって一気に神楽さんのファンになったみたいです。
She waves her arms around wildly as she comments on the duels, still high from the excitement of the combat festival. It's very obvious from the tone of her voice. Your dad seemed to enjoy it too.
隣で拳を突き上げながら大声で観戦してました。明日はジンくんも一緒に観戦できるんですよね。
Think of all the locations I patrolled today and reconfirmed that there was no problems. Momoka's maintaining a watch on the surveillance cameras and she'll inform me immediately should anything happen. Yeah, let's watch the matches together.
本当ですか？約束ですよ。
You slowly walk along the path to the dorm talking about random trivialities. Neither of us says so, but it's a little sad walking home like this.
そろそろ寮に着いちゃいますね。もう少しジンくんと一緒にいたいのに。
Do we still have time before we're supposed to meet up with your dad?
少しだけなら。
And why don't we stop at the park? It's close to the hotel, so we can get there quickly when it's time.
はい、ジンくんがそうしてくれるなら。時間がもったいないし、早く行きましょう。
She grabs my hand like a little kid rushing off to a playground and heads towards the park. Even just being able to spend a little more time together is enough to make her ecstatic. She sat on the bench and talked about today's festival, her dad and the Revolutionary Army. This trivial time we spent together just brings us closer.
喋りすぎて喉が渇いちゃいました。
Want me to go get us some drinks?
私が買ってきます。ジンくんは待っててください。
She stops me and rushes off to a vending machine near the park entrance. Joy my youth definitely is important. I'm used to myself thinking on everything that's happened as I look at the evening sky. Oh, I loved someone so much that I want to protect them. Mom wanted to teach me what I was lacking. I've definitely matured since meeting Conan. It's a bit hard to explain how exactly, but it's something I'm sure of. I expect to keep learning a lot from her from now on too. Conan, I'm looking forward to a future together. I blush at my own comment and break into a smile. I laugh at how silly I am. Yep, there we go. What? Conan's scream echoes throughout the deserted park. I look at her and see her surrounded by people who are trying to drag her into a car. Kanon! Pull out a hidden kunai and prepare to throw it to rescue her. But a thought stops me. What if someone sees me? My instincts from living within the organization make me hesitate to use a ninja weapon. Split second I hesitate, they've managed to push her into the car and the tires screech as it takes off.
何をぼんやりしているんですか。しっかりしてください。
What the hell am I doing? I'm sitting here worrying about the organization. Shit, my precious girlfriend is being abducted before my very eyes. Why did I hesitate to curse my own indecision? Gotta protect her at all costs. I will never hesitate again. I'll give chase after the car that Kanon is in. car has already turned a corner and is about to disappear from my line of sight. I'm going to lose him at this rate. I'm running as fast as my legs will take me. My brain is in overdrive trying to think of a way to turn the situation around. What should I do? Should I give chase to a car? Contacting the organization will only delay me, and getting the police involved is out of the question. Actually, White Mocha can hack into the surveillance cameras and track them. Mocha, can you hack into the surveillance cameras and follow them?
私単独でハッキングを行うには時間がかかります。ですが、あなたを介すれば監視カメラのデータを共有することができます。
Of course, Anato is the parent I am, academic city. As long as you're online, you should be able to get information from anywhere.
しかし、あなたに協力を仰ぐ場合、最悪我々の存在が表沙汰になる可能性があります。
But that actually means the organization of an extra-jurisdictional organization that shouldn't exist were exposed would be a massive scandal. It'd even be big enough to rock the nation itself. A moment's indecision is followed by my choice. I won't hesitate anymore. I receive a notification from the device before I can act. It's Mom. I wonder why in the world she'd call me at a time like this, and I hastily take the call.
モモカからの連絡を受け取ったわ。あなたと協力して監視カメラにアクセスすること。
What? She went and resolved it before I even had a chance to consult her. Momoka addresses me as I stand there
私
flustered.
に声をかけていただいた時点で静香様に通話をつなげていました。非常事態だと判断しましたので。
Impressive. I express my thanks to my skilled partner and commander before rushing to the spot where Anato appears.
誘拐ですか？それは早く警察に連絡しないと。
We explain the situation to Anato. Her response is completely human. I'd like to contact police, but more important, this is a race against time. I'd like your help to access the city's surveillance cameras and track the abductor's car.
そうは言われましても、ここにいる私はあくまで端末です。私には皆さんとお話をする以上のことはできません。ですが、大元のあなたへアクセスすることはできますよね。それはそうですが。
Anato frowns
大
apologetically.
元の私は私と違って堅物というか話のわからない頑固者というか、私が何を言おうが権限がなければ取り合ってすらくれないんですよね。
She broods over what to do with the troubled expression. The Anato we see as a guide for the city. She basically exists to help people in need. She's been programmed to help people as much as possible, making her appear very
まず
human.
は大元のあなたへコンタクトを取ってください。そこから先は私が説得をします。わかりました。私も微力ではありますが説得の協力を。
What? Suddenly Anato's visage becomes blurry and she disappears into thin air. Anato? Hey, Anato! Look around and call out, but there's no response. Momoka, do you have any idea what happened?
いえ。ですが今の消え方は強制シャットダウンされた。
Can you be restored?
やってみます。
Virtually the same moment she finishes saying that, an identical Anato reappears. Good, she's back. Well done, Momoka. That wasn't me!
いえ、私はまだ何も。
None of us understand what happened, but Anato looks around and then her gaze focuses on me and she
失礼
smiles.
しました。監視カメラへのリンクが完了いたしました。それで誘拐犯の車種は何になるでしょうか。
Does it mean the core Anato gave permission?
ええ、そちらについてはご心配なく。監視カメラへのアクセスは問題なくできますよ。
Her behavior was completely changed from her vacillating earlier version. Her response sounds suspicious.
どうされました？今は一刻でも早く誘拐犯の車を探すことが先決では？
Her smile she wears now is the characteristic Anato smile. Can't shrug off that uneasy feeling though. However, as she rightly points out, we have to help Conan right now. We should use whatever means we have at our disposal to do that. Push down the misgivings I feel in my chest. Momoka sent Anato the image of the kidnapper's car and began searching for the cameras.
よろしいのですか？
Should you notice anything unusual, cut the connection immediately.
了解しました。
She must have her own thoughts on this, but follows my command nonetheless. After 10 seconds of silence, Anato quietly speaks.
該当の車確認できました。データ送りますね。データ確認しました。該当の車種で間違いありません。ここから東500メートル先の住宅街を走行中です。
Good, that means we can still give chase. I thought they'd have left Academic City by now, but they're surprisingly close. I feel impatient when I see the kidnapper's car displayed on the device. About to run off, but Arnold's gaze distracts me. She doesn't look any different to normal, however it feels like her eyes are spying
ど
on
うさ
me.
れました？早く行ってください。カノンさんがお待ちですよ。
Yeah, I'll make sure to thank you if this is over. Still have some doubts, but I push them all aside and run off, leaving Anoto.
さすがにあからさますぎましたね。でも、こんなところでつま
Yeah,
ずか
that
れて
is,
台無
he's
しにされ
actually
て
the
も
bat or something. That's gonna be the fucking twist.
しっかりカノンさんを助けてくださいよ。あなたもそう思うでしょ？私の可愛い影。
Is the bat actually a Yandere AI for him?
誘拐ですか？ってあれ？
I suddenly have a very, very funny, idea. Namely that, somehow, on one of his missions, the AI, the core that is Anato, either that or whoever was the bat was actually the one speaking just now. But, case in point, the bat, on one of his missions, somehow noticed Jin's existence and just went full yandere for him. I predict the approximate direction of the eagles. Traveling for them, image displayed on the device and take the shortest route there. Climb over fences, leap over rooftops, kick off walls in order to get a leap in the car running on public roads. That turns out to be effective. The vehicle soon appears in my sight.
モモカのデータで車の場所は把握できているわ。あなたも車を追っているのね。
Yes, I see the target vehicle 50 meters ahead.
相手の人数は？
There were two that assaulted Conan, but I haven't determined the number in the vehicle yet. It's a van, so it could have 6 to 8 people at
了
most.
解。近くにいる人間を応援に送っているから協力して。
The discussion is cut before I respond. I concentrate on the pursuit. The car is traveling in a sparsely populated residential area. They must think they've given me the slip completely as they're obeying the traffic lights. I conclude that no one would get caught in the crossfire now as I pitch a kunai at the front windshield. It deflected off the glass, but they think they've hit something and stopped to get out of the car. I observe them from the shadows. 3 of them have gone out. They don't appear to be pros based on their movements. Where all arises a situation where I should wait for backup, but right now I don't have that luxury. I'll solve this quickly. Target one of the men and threw a kunai at his leg so he decides to not deal a lethal blow. Dad! He screams and rolls around the ground holding his leg. When the other men turn their attention to him, I rapidly sneak up behind him and render them unconscious with blows to the head. The men remaining in the car realize something's not right and hastily rush out. The newcomers all move like amateurs too. In that case, I can overwhelm them no matter how many there are. I strike the assailants in the chin, the occiput, and the solar plexus, rendering them all unconscious on the spot. Kanon! Once the last man standing falls, I rush into the car and extricate Kanon.
ジン君、絶対に来てくれるって思ってました。私を守ってくれるって約束したから。
Yeah, of course, sorry I'm late.
早かったですよ。
She grabs my hand tight and smiles in relief. Then, as all the tension leaves her, she faints. She doesn't appear to be harmed. I look for visible wounds, but apart from some grazing from being bound, she has no other major injuries. I breathe a sigh of relief. You're dead, kid! One of the guys I thought was a goal turns a gun towards me, still laying on the ground. What the hell is an amateur like him doing with a gun? Shit! I was too hasty and negligent, confirming that he was downed. I stand in front of Conan with my arms spread out to at least protect her, ready to take a bullet. Like, why are you spreading your arms out? She fainted. The more you spread your arms out, she's gonna drop to the floor. There's no gunfire sound. All I hear is a muffled voice. Oh, did he actually join the organization? Is that it? Alfred, what the fuck? Alfred, why are you here? Oh, so you're what you meant. He's the last person I would expect to see, so I stand there mouth agape,
確
dumbfounded.
認できました。彼は味方です。
そういうことだ。すぐに信用はできないかもしれないが、ここは任せてもらいたい。じきに警察が到着するだろう。後のことは俺がやっておく。お前はメイフィールド。
I have a myriad of questions on my mind, but I must prioritize Conan's safety right now. Okay, thanks. I lift up Conan and head for the dorms, trying to move her as little as possible. Upon making it back to the dorm, I carry Conan to her room. Oh, they're fucking. They're... She woke up, aka they are fucking. You're awake?
私の部屋。ジン君が運んでくれたんですか？
I was considering taking you to the sick bay, but I figured it'd be better if I kept quiet about your abduction.
そうですね。お父さんに知られたら心配させてしまいますから。
She barely manages to smile, looking exhausted. She doesn't appear to have hit her head, and has no other injuries either, but I imagine she's still drained from the intense anxiety. So you couldn't make it to dinner with your dad.
お父さんには後で連絡しておきます。具合が悪くなったって。ジン君、もう少し一緒にいてくれますか？
Sure, I'll stay with you. I'll stay with you today. That reassures her. She closes her eyes and begins quietly breathing rhythmically in sleep. I watch her for a while, and once I'm sure she's fast asleep, I return to my own room. I reflect on what happened today. I should have been able to save her before she got shoved into the car if I hadn't hesitated. After all I said, and I'm prioritizing the secrets of the organization. I suck. I condemn my own actions after having resolved to protect her. Even if I ultimately ended up saving her, it was a fatal move to weigh her worth against the organization's. That's pointless to think about what ifs after that fact. I'll never hesitate again, no matter the circumstance. I'm glad he abandoned the organization to save Conan. It may be taking a huge leap, but that's how far I'm prepared to go. There's a soft knock at the door. I wonder who it might be at this time as I open the door. Hey, Alfred!
ジン君、
Not actually.
来ちゃいました。
Conan, should you be sleeping?
はい、大丈夫です。誰にも見つからないように気配を消してラウンジを抜けてきましたよ。これもジン君と一緒に忍者修行をしたおかげですね。役に立ちました。
She smiles cheekily as I invite her into my room and tell her to sit anywhere. She sits on the bed and lets out a huge, relaxed sigh.
ジン君の部屋に侵入するの緊張しちゃいました。
I need to apologize for the day. I should have acted faster. If I did, those guys would have never abducted
で
you.
もジン君は私を助けてくれましたよ。そばにいて守ってくれるって約束はちゃんと果たしてくれました。
Yeah, but... A face full of titty! Huh. While I deride myself, she tenderly embraces me. She's trembling slightly, which is likely still from the shock of being abducted. Again, all I've been thinking about is myself, not her. A normal girl would never experience being abducted. Must have... I think they forgot to put a bin there. It must have been extremely traumatic for her. I'm sorry, Kanon.
謝らなくていいですよ。だってジン君はちゃんと助けてくれたじゃないですか。
That's what I'm referring to. Must have been an awfully frightening experience for you, but all I was thinking about was my own failure. Oh, here, no more complaining from me. I'm going to be prioritizing you.
本当ですか？
Yeah, promising this time for real.
嘘つき。
She becomes teary-eyed and looks at me peevishly. I'm not lying, it's true.
じゃあ、なんで私の部屋からいなくなっちゃったんですか？一緒にいてくれるって言ったくせに。
Sorry. I apologize once more upon hearing her sulking. That makes her pound and continue to act
目
peevish.
が覚めてジンくんがいなかったからすごく寂しかったんですよ。だから部屋に忍び込んだんです。彼女が拉致されちゃう目にあったんですよ。彼なら心配してずーっと一晩中一緒にいてください。
I know, I'll be with you all night. I gently embrace her and softly kiss her lips. Her lips are trembling slightly, still from the fear of being abducted. It's my fault you had to go through that. I promise it'll never happen again.
疑ってませんよ。だってジンくんは私のヒーローで忍者ですから。
This time she kisses me and wraps her tongue around my... Oh, Lord. Yep, they're fucking. I knew I was just slightly delayed. After spending the whole night together, we wake up quite early. She's still in her uniform from yesterday and can't really go to school like that, so she gets ready to return to her own room.
早く目が覚めてよかったです。これじゃあさすがに登校できませんから。私、部屋に戻って着替えますね。まだ早いからラウンジに誰もいないと思いますし。
You okay now?
はい。ジンくんが慰めてくれましたから。で、この言い方、ちょっとエッチですよ。
She smiles bashfully, which makes me embarrassed too. The trauma from yesterday isn't gone, but I think she's at least not rattled anymore. She's back to her normal self.
そうだ。一緒に登校しませんか？今日は剣闘祭観戦できるんですよね。
Her comment makes me decide what I should do today. Alfred would have taken those men to the headquarters and they should be getting questioned now. Need to hear the results so I can decide where to go from now on with my investigations. Should talk to Alfred about it tonight. It'll take time to digest the information. I'd like to see if there's any relationship between that social media post and Conan's abduction too. Yeah, I should be fine. I think I can go with you today.
よかった。じゃあラウンジで待ってますね。
Make sure no one spots you.
大丈夫です。昨日も言ったじゃないですか。忍者スキルが上がってますから。
She winks, scans outside, and leaves my room. As she leaves, I refocus to not get hung up on yesterday's failure and then prepare to head to school. Once I enter the lounge, I see someone looking for Conan. He's here. He's Conan's father. Like the other day, he looks displeased, even a slight bit angry. When he sees me, he begins speaking with a resentful look on his face. Letter was sent to my room last night. Why don't you take a look? Take the envelope from him and check what it says. Inside are images of the moment Conan was kidnapped and when I rescued her. When was this taken? The kidnappers have accomplices. Is that you in the photos? It's me without a doubt. The shot is so badly out of focus that it'd be hard for anyone else to make out it's me. Though I'd given he recognized me, if I acknowledged it was me, then my identity may be brought to light. Would you care to explain, Jin? He questioned me in an intense, low voice. I'm standing there, wondering how to respond with the picture in my hand when Conan turns up, having finished getting ready.
お父さん、どうしたの？
She sensed the tension between us, looking alternately between us with a grim look on her face. When she spots the pictures in my hand, she looks at it suspiciously.
これって。
Conan, you sent me a message that you weren't feeling well yesterday, but you were actually abducted, weren't you? This picture is real, and a crime was committed. Why did you keep it a secret from me?
それは。
Does it have something to do with Jin? She flinches and her shoulders tremble. She looks sidelong at my expression and then nods vigorously as if sensing how I feel.
ジン君は関係ない。その写真は警察だよ。私が拉致されたところを誰かが通報してくれたんだと思う。
Alright. Very well. After the festival, you told me that you were meeting him. Does that mean you were with her when she was abducted? Yes, I was. I was the one who informed the police. So you failed to protect her. Is that what your resolve amounted to? Of course I'm serious about her. I've resolved to protect her. But the fact remains that she was abducted in my presence. I'm terribly sorry. What a
お父
shame.
さんちょっと待ってジン君は
You stay out of this, Kanon. That's all I have to say. I'll protect her while I'm in Japan. Let's go, Kanon. He then grabs her hand and leaves the room, making it clear he has no intention of listening to what I have to say. She looks at me wanting to say something. She's dragged away, but I'm unable to do anything.
何をしているのですか
Activate my device and hear Momoka's critical voice. You know what you want to say? You're going to tell me to go after
違い
them.
ます。あの状態では父親も冷静ではありません。
And what are you trying to say?
なすべきことをしてください。今やるべきことは分かっているはずです。
Numerous things happened at once and it was a bit chaotic, but now's not the time to be worrying about gaining Kanon's father's approval. He said I should enjoy my youth, but my primary objective is the Bat's investigation. After Kanon's abduction and the school incident have been resolved, I feel like I have a new mission to attend to. Alright, let's resume the search. I returned to my room to change gears and contact headquarters. I reassessed the current situation once I get back. The culprits from Kanon's abduction yesterday were apprehended by Alfred, and their interrogation should have completed by now. Oh, need to contact headquarters and ascertain what their motives were and whether it was related to the bat. Please tell me what we've learned about the offenders from yesterday's abduction.
待って、まだ全員揃ってないでしょ。ジンの部屋に行くように彼には連絡してあるわ。
Virtually at the same time as she says that, there's a knock at the door and Alfred enters like it's the natural thing to do.
待たせたな。
アルフレッド君、ジンに状況の説明を。
結論から言うと、昨日の連中がコウモリと関わりがあるかどうかまだ不明だ。
Weren't they questioned?
もちろんだ。俺も立ち会った。その結果分かったことは、コウモリとの関係はおろか、犯人たちに横のつながりがないということだ。
What do you mean?
犯人たちはあるアングラサイトで集められていた。誘拐を実行し、成功すれば報酬を渡すと言われてな。
Is there anything to identify the person who posted that request?
もちろんしたわ。でも無理ね。さまざまなサーバーを経由してサイトに書き込んでる。特定は無理よ。
So does that mean that the person who posted that request to abduct her planned it all out?
そういうことになるわ。これを見て。
A number of pictures of Conan are on the device, with detailed descriptions outlining her daily
犯
movements.
人たちはこの資料を受け取って主犯の計画に沿って行動しただけね。車や銃などの装備も事前に指定された場所に置かれていたということよ。それらの物品の経路は調査中。今日の夜までに調べ上げるわ。
All these pictures are recent.
それは確かなのか。
I'm certain. We've been together most of the time since I came to the school. I've been cut off, but there's no doubt it's me beside her. Plus, I can clearly remember the situations where these photos were taken. Oh, this is about 2 weeks ago, and the latest only a few days ago. She's been planning this to coincide with the Combat Festival. Just lines up with the dates of the old school media post. The old social media post. Was that hinting at the abduction then?
メイフィールドと行動を共にして何か気づいたことはあるか。
It wasn't from Conan herself, but it was a worrying post on the old Revolutionary Army social media.
詳しく聞かせてくれ。
I described the initial post that agitated the Revolutionary Army on the social media and the recent suggestive
し
post.
かしなぜわざわざ警告するような書き込みを。警戒されてしまっては計画が失敗する可能性もあるのでは。
アルフレッド君が拘束されてコウモリは自分を狙う組織の存在を知ったのよ。そして一連の行動からジンが組織の人間ではないかと疑って証拠をつかむために揺さぶりをかけてきた。そんなところだと思うわ。
So this is the bat's doing.
今のところ証拠はないけどおそらくその可能性が高いわね。
Putting it all together, the bat schemed up the abduction of Conan in order to expose that I was part of the organization. So if I hadn't come to the school and been involved with Conan, this would never have happened. What's supposed to do? Mom noticed my depressed look and sighs lightly.
自分が接触したからカノンちゃんが拉致されたと思ってるんだろうけど、犯人の目的は身代金よ。
What?
メイフィールドの父親は財閥の代表と聞く。娘を拉致し身代金を要求して。
つい 組織のつながりを見つけられたらラッキーだな。だからあなたがいようがいまいがカノンちゃんは誘拐されてたわ。自分の責任だと背負い込んで任務に支障が出る方が困るわね。
I don't know if she's consoling me or rebuking me, but she's absolutely right. I can't let myself get down now. I have a mission to do. I seem to keep getting depressed lately. I'd ride myself, that tendency of mine. Can't afford to get depressed now that the pieces of the puzzle are all falling into place. I understand why Jin's hands were tied and he couldn't say anything to Dad. The world cannot learn of the existence of ninjas. No doubt Jin couldn't say anything in accordance to with that pledge.
忍者は流派があるって言うし、ジン君もきっと組織みたいなものに所属してるはずだよね。私を助けてくれたのはジン君だけど、それは言っちゃいけないんだ。けど、ちゃんと言わないとジン君と別れることになっちゃう。そんなの嫌。ジン君のそばにいたい。
Numerous thoughts through my head about Jin, Dad, and myself. Dad must have seen me getting depressed because he speaks to try and persuade me. I know you're feeling sad, but please understand how concerned I am. Conan, what happened to your brooch? I hadn't noticed that it was gone until he mentioned it. Probably fell off somewhere when I was being forced into the car. Don't worry about it, I'll get you another one as a present. All that matters is that you're safe. What am I supposed to do at a time like this? Even if I could provide a channel of communication between the Revolutionary and Army and the Order of Knights, I can't do that between Dad and Jin. I feel like I'm going to cry at my own helplessness. My briefing session with Alfred has ended. I'm left by myself in my room. What I have to do now is to continue investigating the bat. It's just a hunch, but I feel it's coming to a head. Plus, there's one more thing. I need to take clear responsibility for Kanon. I wonder what she's doing right now. She's waiting for me. Is she trying to forget me at her father's behest? Countless expressions on Kanon's face come to mind, then disappear and consume me. My feelings for her drive my thoughts, and when I happen to look at my pillow, I see her brooch there. Kanon was here last night, she really was. I muttered to myself, squeezed the brooch tight in my hands. I resolved myself to never get depressed and lose courage again. I must see her again. By the time I arrive at school, the second day of the tournament has already ended. The only ones left at the arena are the students preparing for tomorrow and a few squires. Looks like the festival's already over for the day. Where's Kanon? Scour around looking for signs of her. Kono happens to notice me and calls out to me.
Mikage-senpai! どうしたんですか?
Kono, what are you doing?
ビップ席の掃除です。私、1回戦で負けてしまったので。
She smiles bashfully. She's probably not disappointed, as it happens all the time. Nevertheless, she stayed at the arena to clean up, which says a lot about her personality.
ミカゲ先輩は何をしてるんですか?
Have you seen Kanon? I'm looking for
カ
her.
ノンさんですか? デュエルの最中はビップ席にいました。でも、終わった後のことまでは。
Okay, thanks. I express my gratitude and leave the arena. It's been a while since the festival ended, as there are no spectators left. Then I spot Shirogane about to head home.
ミカゲ君、カノンを探しているの?
I haven't seen her.
デュエルの後に控え室に来てくれたのだけど、その後のことは父親と一緒にいたから食事にでも行ったのだと思う。
Ah, so her dad is with her. My device rings that moment. It's a call from Conan. On the display, I see a despondent expression on her face. This isn't the usual cheerful Conan. Sorry I didn't make it in time for the festival. Well, you know, I heard you left with your dad. Are you back into dorms yet?
寮には戻ってません。お父さんが宿泊してるホテルに別の部屋を借りて。
Is that the hotel with the lounge where I met your dad?
はい。
I'll come and see you then. Found your brooch in my room. I know how important it is to you, so let me bring it to you.
でも、お父さんがホテルから出してくれないんです。やっぱり拉致されたことを心配してるみたいで、抜け出そうにもボディーガードの数も増えてるし、ずっと監視されてるんです。
That sounds like the sort of thing he'd do. His daughter was abducted after all. It's not surprising that he would intensify security and forbid her to go out. But I still want to give you your brooch. Actually, that's not true. I want to see you.
会いに来てくれるんですか?
Yeah, I promise. I'll come to you and give you a brooch, so wait for me.
信じて待ってます。ジン君が約束を破ったことなんてないですから。
Now, here's the thing. Which route will he take? Will he knock out every single fucking bodyguard, or will he come in through the window? Without anyone noticing somehow. It pains me to hear her say that when I couldn't prevent her from getting abducted. Can't afford to regret that now. I'd resolved to never let myself be down again. I just need to do what I have to do. What I have to now. I'll probably be there after dark.
やっぱり忍者は闇に紛れて行動するんですね。宝物を忍者が運んでくれるなんて、本物のお姫様になった気分です。
And I want to rescue my princess from the castle.
今それをしたら、お父さんは本気で私をジン君に近づけないようにしちゃいます。お父さんもきっと分かってくれるはずです。だから今は。
Yeah, no, I'll bring your brooch though. Promise I'll go to her and then cut off the connection. I return to my room in order to equip myself to infiltrate the hotel. The bat just takes the pictures again of him, and this time she doesn't even they don't even send it to her dad. It just sends it to him just to fuck with him. Like, why did they catch me again? Later that night, I prepare my equipment and head for the hotel. I observe from the shadows and spot a number of bodyguards keeping a close watch on the entrance. Is there 3 of them? That shouldn't pose a problem. Pros, sure, but average level pros. They'd have a hard time dealing with someone of exceptional skill. I survey my surroundings, looking for another route in besides the front entrance. See windows on the 2nd floor of the rear, but they seem to be fixed with no way of opening them from the outside. Huh. I think I can take care of that. Fire off my wire and launch myself to the 2nd floor of the hotel. I cling to the wall, place my dedicated equipment on the glass, and cut out a circle. I use that to unlock the window and then enter the hotel.
気をつけてください。監視カメラがあります。
Smoke gives you a warning once I'm inside. I immediately press up against the wall and look at the security cameras. There are a lot more cameras than normal hotel security.
今ホテルの概要を調べました。どうやらここは要人の宿泊専用に作られたホテルのようです。セキュリティレベルが一般のホテルに比べかなり高くなっています。
Alright, seems I made an inadequate assessment, even if I've managed to get inside. Normally I'd thoroughly investigate the security of any facility I was planning on infiltrating for an investigation, but I foolishly thought it was an ordinary hotel. It's a real problem with so many security cameras. Are there any other alarms?
ありません。ホテルのセキュリティシステムに侵入し確認しました。監視カメラにもダミーの映像を流しています。一施設のインフラでしたら短時間なら問題なくコントロールできます。
Impressive. But are you sure about doing this? This is an official operation for the organization. It's a private matter.
それが何か問題ですか？私はあなたをサポートするのが役目です。
Thanks, partner. She's always there casually supporting me, but today I feel prouder than ever of her. At this rate, I should be able to get to Conan's room without anyone seeing me. I expected a bodyguard to be outside a room, but there isn't one there. The door isn't even locked. Probably did that to aid my entry. She knew I'd be coming for her. Hi, Dad. The lights are out, but I'm used to this. Head straight for the bed where she's sleeping. You're asleep? I really wanted to come earlier, sorry I'm late. I whispered to her sleeping face, put the brooch down softly on her pillow. But then she abruptly puts her hand on mine. Sorry, did I wake you?
起きてました。ジン君を待ってたんですよ。
Sorry I'm late, I really don't want to come earlier.
ジン君は約束通り来てくれましたよ。ただそれだけでいいんです。お父さんにもうジン君に会わせないと言われてとても悲しくて、だから一目だけでも会いたい、ジン君に触れたい、そう思ってたんです。ジン君はやっぱり私のヒーローです。正義の忍者ですね。
Not the kind of hero everyone knows of that stands in the spotlight, but it can be the ninja that protects you from the shadows. If I can't show myself, I'll always be there with you. I'll always be there with you. Never forget that.
ジン君
Then they fuck. Or a nice CG. She looks directly at me, and her eyes fill with tears. She then softly places her lips on mine, and we embrace tightly. I'll persuade your father to let us see each other
ジ
again.
ン君が約束してくれるなら間違いないですね。今日だってちゃんと約束を守ってくれましたから。
3 separate belts on him, huh? Alright, so just wait for me. I hug her tight again, then we share a long kiss to savor the fleeting meeting. With great pain, we say goodbye and promise to see each other again. After having delivered a brooch, I leave the hotel. I took everything I had just to achieve that. I have to be able to do more. I have to get him to acknowledge our relationship first. The only option I could come up with is to apologize sincerely. If he won't listen, then I'll just have to do it again and again until he will. I expect him to refuse initially, but I should be able to get him to realize how much I care about Kanon. He'll likely return to his homeland the day after the combat festival concludes. Anyway, I don't have much time, so I plan to do everything I need to do. Oh boy.
今どこ？
A call interrupts my train of thought. It's Mom seeking a report on the current situation. I'm outside, about to return to my dorm.
事件のきっかけになったアングラサイトを調べたわ。そしたら様々なサイトに発生していることが分かったの。それも一部の人だけが見られるかなり深いところにあるサイト。そこで誘拐が計画されていたの。カノンちゃんのお父さんの誘拐計画がね。
The group that failed to kidnap Kanon is now aiming to kidnap her dad? Or is this unrelated to Kanon and a separate kidnapping plan entirely? Either way, there's no doubt that Kanon's family is in danger. Can you give me the details?
もちろんよ。早く寮に戻ってちょうだい。アルフレッド君が待っていると思うから。
She cuts the transmission. I run through incident after incident in my head. This time I want to make sure that Kanon and her father aren't dragged into this. Alfred was on standby in my room. After exchanging a brief greeting, I call Mom. Once she acknowledged Alfred and I are there, she continues to the account I mentioned earlier.
カノンちゃんの父親のことだけど、どうやら複数箇所で呼びかけをしているみたい。
This is actually kind of sick that we just get to fucking buddy cop it up with Alfred now.
内容はカノンちゃんの時と一緒ね。成功した場合は報酬を払う。
目的はメイフィールドの時と同じでしょうか。
多分そうでしょうね。だけど身代金の要求先は企業よ。財閥のさまざまなグループに対して莫大な金額を要求するでしょうね。
So it has to get funds for the bad activities.
残念ながらコウモリとの関係は未だ不明よ。カノンちゃんの時もそうだけど、ジンに揺さぶりをかけてきたっていうのはあくまでも憶測だから。
それでもコウモリである可能性が高い。
そうね。だからこそ今回も犯人を捕まえる必要があるわ。
Kanon's father has a bodyguard with him at the hotel. Security is strict. Even if Matt has schemed it up. Those that performed the abduction are a rabble bunch and couldn't take on bodyguards. It's likely the kidnapping will happen during the combat festival. Kanon's father has a bodyguard with him. However, when he's spectating the combat festival, he's alone with Kanon.
だったら犯行の可能性が高いのはその時ね。会場外は固めるとして会場内での対処は2人に任せるわ。できるわよね。
Of course.
問題ありません。
The basic plan is to leave Alfred to watch the arena from the Chevalier's side while I protect Kanon and the father from the spectators' seats. Can't let Kanon's dad or his bodyguards find out the organization is protected. This will be a completely covert mission.
ジンもアルフレッド君も連絡を取り合ってお互いの状況を把握しておくように。通信は以上よ。
She cuts off the transmission, leaving me alone with Alfred in my room. I never expected us to team up, but past qualms don't matter when it comes to performing a mission. We just both think about how to pull off the mission successfully. Today's the last day of the combat festival. Jin's not with us, but I'm sure the three of us will be able to watch it next year. He came yesterday to fulfill his promise, so I'm sure he'll be able to keep this one. Connor, your brooch. Points out the brute that I lost and looks at me slightly
昨
surprised.
べ私の大切な人が届けてくれたの。
I see. Dad probably vaguely realized it was Jin who returned it. Nonetheless, he doesn't talk for more. He doesn't ask for more detail and just mutters something. Anyway, today's final day. This year has been particularly exciting, so I'm looking forward to seeing how great the final matches are. The announcer declares that this is the final day of the tournament, and all the spectators cheer in unison. I'm spurred on by Jin's feelings and hold on to the brooch pinned to my chest. Final day of the combat festival begins, and the arena is already abuzz with excitement. Situation normal on my end. Conan and the father are watching the duels. His bodyguard is also keeping a watchful eye from a distance. I stay in contact with Alfred, who's also in the arena through my device. He surveys the spectators' seats looking for suspicious characters.
不審人物はいない。控室も調べたが、特に変わったところはないようだ。引き続き内部の警備を続ける。そちらも何かあったらすぐに。
Keep the line open and look at Kanon and her dad again. He says something there, then leaves his seat with a bodyguard in tow. Father's moving. He's going somewhere with his bodyguard, probably the bathroom.
VIP 専用のトイレか。先回りして誰か潜んでいないか確認してくれ。
Roger. The dedicated VIP bathrooms are all in one place, and there's no chance he'll use different ones. Head there first and stand before the bathroom door. I sense something. After checking my equipment, I burst into the bathroom. Who the hell are you? There are men staking out the bathroom, just like I predicted. They were taken aback when someone else showed up instead of Conan's dad. I don't give him an answer. Instead, I easily brush his hand aside and deal a blow to his solar plexus with my elbow. He stands there gasping for breath before crumbling to the floor. Huh? The other guy is completely bewildered by what he sees. They're just lowly punks, seriously out of their element. He's so shocked he stands there like a deer in headlights. In the meantime, I briskly approach him, grab him by the collar, and throw him. That just sounds like it just like fucking knocked someone through the door. That dude just stands there all shocked that the MC just goes there like, oh, here we go again. Just fucking briskly strolls towards him without a fucking sign of any kind of danger there to him being in this room. Just no fucking sense of urgency. I hold him by the collar and point a throwing knife at him. I know you have others working with you. Talk. What the hell? What the fuck do you want? I know. It's your ragtag group responding to a request on a dark site. You're happy to throw away your lives to fulfill the request of a stranger you know nothing about. Well, your plan has failed. Spill the beans. What the hell are you on about? Seems he still doesn't realize the situation he's in. I press the knife against the side of his face. If you don't speak, then I'll just have to render you incapable of speaking ever again. There are 3 more men outside the arena. They're planning to take the target's car and switch drivers. Our job was to catch the target here. With the slightest of threats, the man instantly chirps. Clearly a bragged up bunch of amateurs. I'm gonna tie you up. There's a lot I want to ask. I call Alfred and Mom and request they bind the men who were in the bathroom. I also request that they apprehend the 3 men waiting on standby outside the arena. Once they are confirmed that they're taken away, I head outside the arena. The matter has already been settled in the parking lot. A huge man is holding up a man in a suit by the neck with one arm. There are 2 men lying on the ground beneath them who appear to be unconscious. As every one of us. Really? The dangling man's face is flushed red. He's desperately trying to brush off the hand holding him by the neck, but to no avail. Then he loses consciousness, and the huge man tosses him aside like a rag doll. I know the huge man. Taka! Jin! He's one of the organization's ninjas in active service, a few years my senior. Why'd you come here? Your post is inside. Huh? Oh, yeah, but I heard their partners were outside. Thought he scowled for an instant, but then he lets out a huge deep sigh. Did you inherit that unorthodox behavior from your mom? Well, whatever, just get back to your post! I know what they were after now. The leader is disguised as a bodyguard to get near the target. The time between their regular comms is overdue, so they've probably figured out what's happened by now. I know that criminals driven into a corner can do unpredictable things. And the more amateur they are, the more likely they are to self-destruct. I'm about to contact Shizuka. She's at the scene and you should head there immediately too. Thank you. Rush back inside the arena to head him off before Kanon and her dad are put in danger. Kanon and her dad, currently in danger. The combat festival has ended. Kagura was the overall victor. The final battle was intense and it could have gone either way, but Kagura secured victory by a narrow margin. What a wonderful duel that was. To be honest, I was considering cancelling my yearly VIP seat subscription, but I can hardly do that now.
神楽さんに挨拶する？お父さんならきっと神楽さんも喜んで会ってくれると思うよ。
I would love to as well, but I imagine she's exhausted from her showdown. Let's save it for another time. Also, I want you to stay with me again today, gather your things, because we're going to be leaving for home tomorrow. I've decided that you're coming home with me.
そんな、私の意見も。
Mr. Mayfield, your vehicle is evading. A bodyguard abruptly cuts in between us, interrupting our discussion. I'm a little flustered since this unfamiliar bodyguard.
まだ話が。
No, I don't care. Let's head to the hotel. Dad forcefully breaks off the discussion and we leave the arena.
そこまでよ。
A woman angrily halts us at the instant we exit the arena. Not understanding what's going on, Dad seeks an explanation from him. Who are you? She pulls out a police ID in response.
警察です。そのボディーガードの男を誘拐未遂の容疑で連行します。
What? He's trying to kidnap Conan.
いえ、メイフィールドさん。あなたの誘拐未遂です。この男は仲間数人とあなたを誘拐しようとしていたのです。
Where's your proof?
証拠が揃っているから声をかけたのよ。日本の警察をなめないことね。定時連絡が来なくて焦ってたんでしょう。トイレに潜伏していた仲間も車を襲った仲間も私たちが拘束したわ。
Bodyguard grinds his teeth in frustration and glares at Shizuka. He then pulls a knife from his breast pocket and charges Dad to try and take him hostage.
お父さん危ない。
I pull out a kunai I had hidden in my pocket and throw it at him. However, you think a toy like this is gonna hit me? He parries it with his knife and it flies off with a clang before clashing to the ground.
あら、筋がいいわね。
Then, like a flash of lightning, the woman closes in on the man and tackles him. He slammed against the wall and then collapses to the ground.
すごい。
She sent him flying despite her small frame. She reminds me of a ninja. Ha ha ha!
お二人とも怪我は？
I'm fine, Kanon.
私も大丈夫です。
I'm shaken from the sudden violent incident, but truly relieved that Dad isn't hurt either. Once she ascertains that neither of us are injured, she begins communicating with someone on her device. I stare at her before turning my gaze to the kunai that fell to the ground. All that training for nothing. I'm still nowhere near good enough, Jin. I walk over to pick up the kunai, which is near the unconscious man. However, the next instant, the man abruptly opens his eyes, leaps to his feet, and raises his knife aloft to bring down on me. Die, motherfucker! The man is bearing down on me, intense fury in his eyes. Even if I want to escape, my mind is blank from fear and my body won't react. He's inches from me. I'm frozen from fear and shock. Can't escape, but it doesn't eventuate. Ah! A kunai comes screaming in out of nowhere and sinks into his arm. He groans and falls to the ground in agony, and Shizuka immediately mobilizes him.
まあまあね。大丈夫？
今の区内は。
As she binds the man, she looks behind me.
ジン君？
Came to rescue me. I turn around with a huge beaming smile, but it's not him standing there.
アルフレッドさん。どうして？
あとは彼が説明してくれるわ。
He drags the man to his feet and forcefully takes him away. That leaves only Alfred, Dad, and me there.
まずは駆けつけるのが遅くなってしまったことを詫びたい。
Seem to be one of the students here, but are you affiliated with the police
い
too?
え、私はこの学園のシュバリエです。今回の件を知り、学園の平和を維持するため。
I see. Was Conan's attempted abduction related to this incident too?
それについては捜査中とのことです。
Okay, well, either way, thank you very much. So, Chevalier, do other things in addition to putting on those wonderful duels.
学園の正義と秩序を守るのが我々シュバリエの役目ですから。ですが、今回の件では陰で我々よりも解決に尽力していた者がいます。
I really love to meet them and thank them in person.
残念ながら我々が呼んでも姿を現さないでしょう。ですが、守るべき姫の命令となれば話は別だと思いますが。
That's all he says before leaving. I'm taken aback and call out to him since he must be nearby protecting us.
クナイを投げてくれたのはジンくんですよね。お願いです。姿を見せてください。
Jin slowly comes out of the shadows in response to my beckon. He stands before Dad, bows his head deeply, and speaks in a serious tone. I sincerely apologize for allowing Conan to be put in harm's way. I would gladly put my life in the line to protect her should she ever come into danger again. I truly mean that. The brooch I returned to her is proof of how serious I am. He doesn't say much, but stares at Dad with intent in his eyes. I can sense it, and it gives me courage.
これまで私は自由に憧れるばかりで手を伸ばすのを怖がっていた。でもジンくんと出会って何より大切なものを知ったの。それを守るためならどんな困難にも立ち向かえることも。
Sorry, God. Like, Jin just says that, like, I will swear to protect her, and besides, let's be honest, today we've seen that your security is shit, and I could take her anytime I want to anyway, so let's just make this legal, alright? We don't want, the both of us don't want to get in trouble. like, you listen up, your bedroom is not safe and I am armed. Listen, I could have done this by way of sneaking into your room and, you know, ruining every single piece of decor there, but I decided to go the peaceful route and just sneak into Kanon's route to give her back her brooch. Be thankful.
今すぐ認めてくれなくてもいい。でも認めてもらえるように頑張るから。だから私に勇気と愛する気持ちを教えてくれた大好きな彼と一緒にいさせてください。
We both bow our heads and anxiously await Dad's response. I grieve you're making me out to be the villain here.
お父さん。
That Conan's never wants to find a single thing I've said before, yet you're speaking her will to us so emphatically. I suspect it is also the result of the love you've nurtured by coming to this country and meeting him.
はい、その通りです。
I like that look, since that's the same strong will in you that he has. Jen, let me ask you this once more. Are you willing to commit seppuku for Kanon? I am. Alright, then I have to place my trust in his words. Take care of Kanon. Thank you.
お父さんありがとう。
We hug each other, resisting the temptation to jump for joy. We haven't been apart that long, but I want to spend the entire rest of the day with her to make up for that lost time. Now that Conan's father has accepted our relationship, we're able to be together. There was the aftermath of the attempted kidnapping to take care of, but I left that to Alfred and Mom and returned to my room with Conan. To fuck. Let's be
ジン
honest.
くんの部屋に来るのが当たり前になっちゃいましたね。今日だって普通にラウンジを通ってきましたから。
Everyone's still excited from the combat festival. They won't mind a bit of noise today.
なんだかそれって意味深に聞こえちゃいますね。
When you see you bashfully squirm, I ruminate over what I said. That's not what I meant,
いいんですよ。そういう意
Like
味
I
を
said,
含
they're
ん
fucking.
でても。
I told yous. I told yous. Her cheeks flush and she leans against me. I'm sure there are a lot of things you're wondering about
いい
me.
です。無理に話してもらわなくても。忍者ですもんね。忍者はいつの時代も闇に忍び、表には現れない存在です。でも、ジンくんが言ってくれました。太陽の下に出られなくても、影のように寄り添って守ってくれるって。
Yeah, of course.
だから、それだけで十分なんです。
God, it's getting to the time where I'm gonna have constantly fucking stuffy nose down here. Turn up the fucking heater. Set to like 2, set it to 4. Actually, it was set to below 1 actually, so now it's set to 2. Why am I such a massive nonce? Listen, I have literally 2 things that I would consider like proper merch that I've bought, and well, 3 now. Well, not now. It's just Dojiri Mimirai Perfect Edition, the Majikoi Special Edition, and that Aoi shirt.
私も一緒ですよ。ジン君に寄り添って守ります。
Oh, you defended me today.
あれは、
She suddenly blushes, recalling how she persuaded her father.
なんかいろいろと恥ずかしいことを言っちゃった気がします。でもやっぱりジン君が勇気をくれたから、困難に立ち向かうことを教えてくれたから言えたんです。だって私、お父さんに反抗したの初めてなんですよ。
I know. Thanks. I was only able to speak so boldly because you were there too. Everything I said to your dad was true, and I'll always protect you. Her eyes become moist, her voice hoarse with tears as she embraces me. I hug her tight and quietly put my lips on hers, and then they fuck. Told you.
いや、
That's pretty accurate and forceful enough to not be deflected.
本当ですか？これでまた本物の忍者に一歩近づきましたね。
She jumps a little, displaying her joy like a little child. When I see her, I recall everything that's happened till now and become overwhelmed with emotion. Glad I'm able to be with her now, but I really need to capture the bat. There's been no established connection between the school and the bat, and after the attempted kidnapping incident, it was decided that I'd withdraw from the school. However, Mom repealed that decision and allowed me to remain at the school to find definite proof of the bat. Naturally, I'd be allowed to stay at school even after the bat was caught. I'm gradually collecting clues about the bat, so I should be able to capture him soon.
ジン君、どうしたんですか？
Nothing. Anyway, ninja training's all well and good, but when we'll go on a date next time, given everything that's happened, I think it'd be nice to... It'd serve as a nice relaxer.
いいですね。修行も楽しいですけど、休養も大切です。
Wait, did it skip the ending credits? Is that what's
ど
happening?
こに行こうかな。
Am I just high? She looks at me with a bewitching smile and clings to my arm. When I see her smile, I resolve to never let go of this newfound life I've obtained. Capture the band without fail. That was a condition that Mom gave me in exchange for allowing me to stay at the school. I'll do whatever it takes to protect my new life with Kanon. I pledge that firm commitment in my heart as I resolve to fully treasure and enjoy my life with Kanon. Nah, I guess not. I just misremembered apparently. I thought this would be an after credit scene, but this doesn't have after credit scenes. True route has been unlocked. You can select from secret extras. Fuck. That's not quite what I was expecting. Well, that's a fucking way to start. However, it'll be a way to start next time. Oh, let me just go back to title. That was unintentional. We guys enjoyed this one. See you next time. Bye bye.